Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Let's Keep Moving with Risha podcast. This is Risha. I'm a motivational speaker, content creator, and I love talking about things that will help you keep moving in your life, especially in areas like your life, mental health, love, growth, and everything in between. So if you're ready, let's keep moving. Welcome to the part 2 of the 23 lessons I wish I knew earlier in life. And I'm sharing this because I don't want you to repeat the same mistakes, and I want you to have the wisdom even before the problems, the worries, or the possible opportunities come into your life. I want you to be equipped with the right mindset, with the right heart set, with the right soul set din sa pag-handle nyo ng mga bagay-bagay in your adulthood. If you haven't watched yet the first episode, that's the episode before this one. I'm just excited because we're crossing over our 100 episode. I know, insane. And I'm so grateful to be sharing this win with you because this podcast, I wouldn't be consistent if not for you. And thank you for supporting it. If you're excited to know the part 2 of the 23 lessons I've learned the past year, then without further ado, let's keep moving.
Do not be swayed easily. I have been swayed multiple times last year. I have been swayed multiple times last year. Which is nothing wrong. Kasi I learned from these situations. I learned from the experience. I learned from the opportunity. Nothing wrong. I learned. But this time, I feel like I know better. That there are things na worth my energy and that are not worth my energy. And I hope that this is an opportunity for you to go back to yourself. To do some sort of introspection. And see na, okay, itong grupo ng taong to, itong opportunity na to, itong bagay na to, did it bring me joy? Did it bring me a sense of fulfillment? Is it aligned with my North Star? Is it aligned with who I want to become? Is it aligned with who I want to be 3 years from now or 5 years from now? Because you would want to ask those questions to yourself. Kasi kapag hindi mo tinanong yan, you will forever be swayed. And kapag matagal-tagal ka nang nasuswayed ng mga tao, ng mga opportunities, believe me, it's so hard to go back to your core. Your purpose doesn't need everyone's approval, just God's. This is the one that I really think you needs to hear this today. You don't need a viral platform. You don't need your parents' full understanding to pursue something. You don't need the applause of the whole world to walk in your purpose. If God has placed something in your heart, if He's whispered something to you in your prayer, if He's asking you to go, to speak, to build, to serve, to love, to create, you absolutely don't need a crowd to say yes. Wala ka ng ibang opinion pang dapat pakinggan. Some of the most powerful stories I've seen were born in quiet obedience. Some of the most powerful and most amazing people that I've met, sobrang rooted ng purpose nila sa faith and sa relationship nila with God. One of the things that you have to accept is that your purpose doesn't have to make sense to others. It only has to quietly make sense to you. Kahit misunderstood yan sa ibang tao, even when it looked too small sa mata ng mundo, because God is not measuring your impact based on how many people know you. He's measuring your impact based on how many people experience His love, His grace, through you. Just because someone else is reaching their goals faster doesn't mean I am failing. We all have different starting points. And we all have different timelines set by God. And just because I'm not where I thought I'd be by now, doesn't mean that I am behind. It just means that I'm on a totally different track. One that's uniquely mine, one that's uniquely mine and mine alone. And honestly, every time I rush decisions just to keep up with others, I end up always making choices that don't even align with what I truly want or need. Nafe-feel nyo ba yon na minsan kapag super triggered tayo ng mga ginagawa ng ibang tao or ng mga success or wins ng ibang tao, we tend to copy it and sometimes hindi pala siya align sa purpose and sa wants natin sa buhay natin. I've learned na peace comes pala when you embrace your own pace. When you stop forcing yourself to meet imaginary deadlines. When you realize na God's timing is never late at all. Even when it feels like it is. Hindi to late. I think part of adulting is understanding that no one is late, that everybody's just trying, and that you are trying, And all our efforts, all our hard work, lahat ng mga araw, oras, gabi na nagpupuya tayo, those dreams we're working hard on is not unseen. Hindi siya mapupunta sa waste just because wala pang results now. It's our way of planting seeds so that our future self will get to thank us for it. And I just wanna say na I hope you won't stop. I hope you pause, of course. Napaka-importante niyan. But I hope you won't stop. Stopping is only an option when you're on your deathbed. Stopping is not a choice made by you. Stopping is the choice made by the one who created you. And so I hope you don't stop. I hope you get to continue to live your purpose, your life, your joy, and your passion in life. You cannot judge a person just by the decisions they make if you don't know where those decisions are rooted from. You cannot judge someone based on the decisions they made, even if it doesn't make sense to you. Because you don't know the values na naka-reference yung decisions na yun. And that gives us some space to be kind and to be empathetic of other people's decisions. Kasi parang feeling ko I'm in the space where I've heard so many stories of sayang, bakit di niya tinake yung opportunity na yun to go abroad? Bakit di na lang siya nagtiis sa course na yun? Bakit hindi yun yung course na pinili niya? Bakit di siya nagganito? Bakit di siya nagganyan? Do we know the values of these people, of this person, in this season of his or her life? Because if not, and even if we do, can we take a step back and allow this person to decide for him or herself? We do not have a say on that. Let's not judge someone based on the decisions he or she made if we do not know the value or the values he's living to get to that decision, to make that decision in the first place. Create a pause rule before saying yes instantly. So if someone asks for something, and before we even think, we're already saying yes, no? Of course, sige. San yan? Ano kailangan mo? Ano, ganyan. Tulungan kita, ganyan. And if you want the fix here, make it a rule that you never commit to saying yes instantly, to saying a decision on the spot. Instead, you can start saying na, let me check my schedule muna ha, and then I'll get back to you. Let me check my schedule muna ha, and let me get back to you. I need a little time to think about it. Oh, that's a great idea. Sige, pag-isipan ko. This gives you space to decide if you actually want to do it or not. Or if you're just, agreeing out of guilt. Or if you're just, saying yes because you feel compelled to do so. Di ba may mga ganun tayong moments na parang pagkausap natin yung ibang tao, sige, para matapos na tong usapan na to, yes, sige, okay, sige, punta ako dyan. And then, wala ka na lang idea, nagulat ka na lang, you felt compelled to attend. You felt compelled to do that job. Why? Because you said yes. And it's harder, di ba, to say no once you already said yes. For example, naka-yes ka na sa taong yan. Tapos nung humingi na siya ng tulong, you can just say no kasi nag-yes ka nga eh. Parang out of integrity, you would want to keep your word. Because you said first that yes, na kailangan niya, diba? So, example, if your coworker says na, hey, can you cover my shift? Hey, can you do this for me? I'll be out next week, pwede bang ikaw mag-cover nito for me? Instead of instantly saying yes, kahit alam mong pagod ka na, kahit alam mo na you don't have enough container for that, say na, let me think about it. I'll let you know in an hour. And mind you, even in just 10 minutes, makakapag-no kayo dyan. And this pause really helps you break that automatic yes habit. So if you're struggling na yes na lang ng yes, then this tip might work. Focus on your lane because there is no traffic there. Ooh, and that hits deep talaga. Focus on your lane because there is no traffic there. When you scroll online, everybody seems like they have it all figured out. And of course, aalamin mo what they do, diba? What they do differently, what are they doing for a living? Can I copy that? Kasi pag ginaya ko, baka I can guarantee my own results. And people probably had this feeling hundreds of years ago too. But back then, the only people you could realistically compare yourself to were those around you. They can only compare themselves to the people around them. Whereas now, we're comparing ourselves to literally everyone thanks to social media, diba? Because the way the algorithm works, we're not just seeing ordinary people living ordinary lives. What we're also seeing, we're seeing the 20-year-old who's already scaled their business to 100 million. We feel like we're so left behind. But I realized this during the retreat that I should focus on my lane because there is no traffic in here. And that posed a question to myself then na maybe I'm pressuring myself too much. High expectations can really make something feel impossible. But lowering the stakes can make a huge difference. There's always going to be someone who looks like they're way further ahead than I am, but the reality is there's really no true finish line or the point where you have to catch up. Everyone experiences time anxiety. Even the most successful ones, they do. I'll never win the comparison game if I'm playing it in the first place. So the question isn't how do I catch up? It's never the question. The question is, why do I feel like I'm in this race to begin with? And isn't that a good prompt, diba? The question is never, how do I catch up? Paano ako makakasabay? But the question is, why do I feel like I have to catch up? Why do I feel like I'm in this race to begin with? There is no race to finish. There is no true race to finish. Rules are limitations. And there's no such thing as the right gear or like the right equipment or like the right timing. There's only what works for you. There might be a lot of rules when you are in your 20s or when you are entering adulthood. Madami. Madaming dapat gawin, madaming hindi dapat gawin, madaming standards set by society. There might be rules by those people who came before you, before us. But those are what worked for these people. Those are what worked for them. And it's completely different to whatever might work for you. I'm not saying to completely disregard the wisdom of those people before us, because for sure they really have more experience than us. But it's about narrowing down your options and knowing what works for me, what brings me joy, what brings me fulfillment, what brings me satisfaction. And it doesn't mean that you won't listen to the wisdom of these people, but test it out at first. Test it out for a little while. Keep what works and let go of the rest.
The presence of God is not the place that you go to bypass your emotions. The presence of God is the place that you go to process them. It's not always going to be easy. Sometimes we will be blamed for feeling a certain way. But no emotions are negative. Our emotions are messengers. Our emotions are what keeps us alive, what keeps us human beings. So I don't want you to feel guilty for feeling a certain way. Be it sadness, anger, joy, happiness, it's all okay to feel those things. But I hope that you go back to the presence of God, to the presence of your Creator, to process them. God doesn't want us to bury our emotions. God wants us to process them. And hopefully, hindi tayo bigla na lang sasabog sa ibang tao as our way of processing our emotions. No, let's process it in a healthy way. There's a healthy way to process our emotions. Hindi dapat siya makalat. Hindi dapat siya makakaapekto sa ibang tao. There's a healthy way to process our emotions. And maybe you can do that through reading the Bible or having your alone time with God.
Your time, your energy, and your peace matter too. You don't have to be available for everyone all the time. Like you don't have to. And you don't even have to explain yourself. You don't have to make excuses. And most importantly, you don't have to feel guilty for protecting your own well-being, your own dreams, your own plans, and your own priorities. And the next time you feel pressure to say yes, pause and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go to that party? Do I really wanted to attend that event? Do I really wanted to go with them? Do I really want to do that for him or for her? And if the answer is no, honor that. Like, really honor that. And if someone invites you to a party or to whatever that event is, stop making huge excuse just to make the other person feel better. Because sometimes you're the one that's not feeling better at the end of the conversation. Remember, you deserve boundaries too. You don't want to be available to everyone and end up saying that you neglected your own well-being, you neglected your own needs, you allow these people to treat you that way. So if you don't want that to happen, then this might be helpful for you. Build boundaries. Don't say yes instantly. negotiate, and to not feel guilty for choosing you. You've got to be selfish first before you become selfless. Kailangan punong-puno ka muna. Kailangan umaapaw ka. Kasi you can't help other people if you're also financially broke, if you're not emotionally stable, if you're not in a good space. So I think it's so important to take care of yourself first, to grow yourself so much that you have a lot to offer to other people, especially to the people you love. Isipin na lang natin both, yung mga pangarap, yung mga intentions na hindi natin natupad last year dahil palagi tayong available sa lahat. Dahil mas inuna natin to, dapat nanood tayo ng course, dapat inisip natin kung paano tayo makapag-start ng business, or inisip natin kung paano tayo magiging financially free or financially stable man lang. I mean, just think about it. Have you ever felt like you're stretched so thin? Kasi that's what I felt Like you're juggling a million things all at once and you just can't catch a break. And I felt this. Parang feeling ko, oh my gosh, nasan sa calendar ko, bukod sa tulog ko, yung pahinga ko. And when we make ourselves available to everybody else, we often end up neglecting our own needs, our own well-being. Each time you say yes to other people, you might be saying no to your own needs, to your own desires, to your own dreams. And how painful is that? Dreams are not meant to be rushed. They grow in their own time, and every season brings its own gifts. You can't wish for a dream that's always within your control. You can't wish for a dream with no pressure. You can't wish for a dream with no obstacles or challenges. Everything has its ups and downs. Sabi nga ng isang racer sa librong nabasa ko from Robin Sharma, The 5 a.m. Club, if everything is within your control, you are not going fast enough. So, things are meant to be a little out of hand, and it's okay for it to be that way. Okay lang if things are getting a little out of your control, because that means you're getting faster. And you're getting fast enough. Remember, you got this. Mas masarap sa pakiramdam kapag ang mga bagay ay iniintay at hindi minamadali. Kasi sabi nga, 'di ba, kapag minamadali, nagkakamali. While mistakes are acceptable and while mistakes are normal, you don't want to keep making mistakes all throughout your life. So you've got to be patient.
That's about it for the 23 lessons I learned the past year. I can't wait to share more milestones with you. I'm excited to shoot more podcast episodes with you. Again, this has been your friend and your host, Risha. Know that I'm grateful for you. I've always been. And I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you big time. See you soon. And until then, don't forget to always keep moving. Bye.